another Generation 2 Plasticon review! Woo! Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover Generation 2 Snaptrap, because he's a gigantic turtle. He's a turtle. Big turtle. With pom-pom guns. Boom, 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 boom. It's got this lever here. It's very clever that does that. Do that all day. I mean, come on, it's just fun. Do like the size of this guy. He's huge. Huge. How do you want to call it? He's a very large turtle. Very large sea turtle. The sea turtles are huge. You guys didn't know that. They actually are. It's got these gigantic spiky bits here that can actually go forward if you want to. Push them all the way back. This gigantic gun here is removable, so if you don't want this big gun on his back, you can always take that off. He does have a big opening chomper, actually ratcheted, which is crazy. His head can move up and down like this, and like that, so you can look down. It's got some pretty good articulation, and it's not bad actually at all for size. Lots of click on that. And these do move. They are ratchets, lots of them. Crazy how the back of it's kind of blank, but that's okay. I can look past that. Anyway, the colors, I like this guy because he actually brings in all the colors. He's got the copper going on here, and the yellow, and then a bit of a fade here on the back with this, that metallic blue. The only thing is, he is actually missing an orange. I would like to saw some orange on him as well, but I guess the copper will just have to do for now. It's very cool. I do like him at the head sculpt. The head sculpt's awesome because it's got that nice metallic look going on there. And oops, I'm supposed to be able to see that, but it's neat that his head has ability to move up and down. I do like toys that actually has ability to do that sometimes. Very cool. I do like him, like how blocky he is, how chunky he is. He's very chunky and heavy. Anyhow, that's about all he really does. He doesn't have any interaction with any of the crazy stands that the rest of them do, but he's very cool in his own right. I mean, he's a gigantic turtle. What do you expect? No place really you're going to be able to plug in that stand anyway. I mean, if you're looking on the bottom of it, there's not. Nowhere that I can think of. Because, obviously it doesn't have that pin thing that pops out, so there's no place to actually plug this in to actually make it look like it's floating. About as great as you're going to get right there. Anyhow, enough of this waffling. Let's turn him into a robot. Here's Snaptrap in his robot mode, and oh my god, this guy's huge. He's like so much bigger than the rest of them. Giant guy. He actually does have ability to still use the pom-pom guns on his back, which is kind of cool. So if you really want to make him like flying in the air, you can do something like that, and or swimming, because he's a turtle. He can swim. gigantic chunk here pulls off the back of the robot, and it actually turns into a shield, which is nice. And the crazy thing about the shield thing here is actually got the same peg system that the rest of the Scramble City has. So you have the ability, if you wanted to, you can switch this out and then put it over here onto the other arm. If you really wanted to have this gun and shield on one arm, or vice versa. It does have the ability to hold the gigantic sword that the combined version holds. He will hold it. It's very huge, but it works for him. Lots of ratchet. This guy's got a lot of ratcheting joints, which is nice because, you know, you want something to hold this nice pose. And he looks very stoic. I like the design of this guy. He's very cool. Color balance is just awesome. I do like the idea he turns from a gigantic purple turtle into just this big, kind of a Black Knight looking dude. It's very neat. Let me take this off here so you guys can get a better look at that head sculpt. I love his head sculpt. His head sculpt's awesome. It doesn't move or anything, but he's got nice big yellow eyes in there, sunk in there with that big black mouth light. It's very cool. Colors are really neat. He doesn't have any real articulation in his legs other than going sideways, which we're going to do that. I mean, maybe if you really wanted to try to get crazy here, you can probably get him to do a side kick, but he isn't really going to hold it up very well because he's not balanced really enough to do that, unfortunately. But he does have a bit of ability there. I love the automorph gimmick here with the fists. And it's cool that, you know, once it's actually already turned into a robot, you can actually keep the fist out. It is neat that, you know, that his fist just kind of comes out when you open it up. That is probably the coolest gimmick I've ever seen. This guy's full of gimmicks as far as I'm concerned. You know, he's got the pom-pom guns, he's got automorph fists, a lot of click, a lot of ratcheting, and a very cool looking shield, which I like the shield. The shield's a great touch. This is something I kind of wished more the Scramble City guys did, other than Abominus is the only one that really did that, which, you know, that's probably where they got the idea for this from, Abominus, when they were designing those. But taking a really good look at him without any of his weapons on, he's a very cool looking robot. I do like him. He's neat. Well worth it. Like all the molded detail on the back of his shell here too. I mean, this is molded detail they necessarily did not have to do, but they did. They molded it all in there. Because, you know, you're going to see that when he's in robot mode, so why not? The back legs actually just have the ability to fold up here on the back. You can kind of position however you really feel like. If you really wanted to get silly, you can move these around up front. And then give him 4 arms if you feel like. But these don't really have any way of holding anything, so it would have been cool to see like a flip out fists on the bottom of this. Then you would have had 4 arms, which would have been hilarious. I mean, I don't know. I would think it'd be funny. But I like the idea that, you know, all this stuff has nice click and it stays in place when you put him there. He just doesn't fall over or anything. He's decent. And he does have little heel spurs that actually have to be folded out. You don't fold those out, he will fall over if you don't fold this out. So he's pretty back heavy. So that's a great little touch that they actually added that in. That's something that a lot of Transformers nowadays kind of sometimes suffer from. But anyhow, get him to stand there for a second. As I was talking about heel spurs, and he wants to fall over. Yep, there we go. Quick overview of the Seacons themselves as they are as an entire ensemble. These guys are cool. Very neat. I do like them a lot. The colors are just awesome. They just work together really, really well as a team. Very interesting how all those colors just seem to go together really, really well. It's just interesting that, you know, there's little hints here and there, you know, a little bit of yellow on every one of them tie into him, you know, with the eyeballs just being yellow. Works very well. But anyhow, enough of this waffling. Let's get this thing combined, shall we? Here is Piranacon in his full-on combined mode, and good lord, this thing is crazy looking. I love it. It's so G2, it's not even funny. These colors are just all over the place. I do like it a lot. It's got some really cool sculpting all the way through. You can still, you know, reach his little pom-pom guns on the back. It's an awesome fade going on throughout his helmet as well. I do like the idea that the target masters work pretty well in his hand. The cool thing is any of these limbs can swap around any direction you want them. That is what's really cool about these Scramble City guys. These actually have ability if you want to. You can put these down more or up more. I just like the idea that you're able to pose things on this thing the way you want it to look. And that is what's awesome about Piranacon. He is one of the coolest Scramble City combiners, considering he's the only one that actually has these Target Master hands. The Target Master hands are completely different than all the rest of the Scramble City combiners. This sword hilt is a lot thicker at this part right here, so that way it could actually grip this. This is literally the same size of all the combiner ports, and it will actually fit just fine. It's cool that this is this way, and it actually has a little bitty metal piece here, so that way it allows you to, you know, turn these if you need to. It's very neat. I do like that ability that he has. There's not much posability you're going to get out of him when he's in this mode, but he is really cool looking. He does have ability to hold a Target Master or one of his guys in this mode, and just, you know, have ability to hold him up. And depending on who you put here, Nautilator is a little weaker for it, but it's mainly because of his gigantic legs. These crustaceans are kind of weird. They tend to kind of get in the way with a little bit of the bits, but it's really cool how you're able to just take these and put these in any position you want. You can actually use him for the arm, and then use Nautilator for a gun, or if you want to use, you know, Overbite as the gun, or any of them, really. It's really cool. He also does have ability, if you don't want to use the Target Master, to actually put the normal handheld gun that came with Snaptrap in his hand as well. So you can actually have just a standard rifle. It's kind of nice. It's cool that you actually have this playability. That's the whole point of this. And then you can have him turn into, you know, his regular robot mode and just fight aside of him, you know. Considering that's pretty much about it right there for the fighting side. I mean, he's really, really cool. I do like him a lot. He is literally one of the ones you guys have got to go out and try to find this guy. This guy is awesome. The colors are so cool, and they really do work well, especially with the G2 line. They just fit it to a T. I do like the idea of the fading going on throughout the helmet here. I'll pop his helmet here off real quick. So we can actually, you know, really, really cool colors throughout the head. And it's got this nice fade. It's really subtle, but it's nice to see that. You know, the paintwork is great, and I do like it. It really does give a cool aesthetic. I like him because he is very Power Rangers looking. He does look like a guy that could literally be in a big rubber suit, just how bulky and crazy it looks, and it just works. I do like this guy a lot. He's probably one of the ones that you guys would really try to acquire when it comes to any of these Scramble City bots. Now, as for like the rest of the guns and such, you can kind of plug them on here and there with all the ports and, you know, the hand portions and stuff. You can put these all over this thing and literally have this guy have spiky bits sticking out everywhere that are guns. It's really cool. Something really cool that I always do with Nautilator, normally if I don't use him for an arm, I like to fold these out here on the back and fold parts here and stick him on the back as if it's like a big back shield, and then kind of fold these up. It does make him a bit back heavy though. That's one thing that I've realized with this guy is he is kind of back heavy. So you're going to have to probably put him toward the back of your shelves if you do have shelves for your Transformers. Or just, you know, kind of keep him well balanced to primarily keep like the arms and such sticking out toward the front so that way he'll have ability to not fall over like that. It just happens, and things like that happen all the time. And a lot of guys get really, really scared with pegs on this. You know, I can understand that because they can be pretty crazy. But it's nice that, you know, you're able to put Nautilator back there and you're really not able to see him very well until you just turn him around, and then there he is. And you saw this thing, it fell over and Nautilator did not fall out, so he actually sits there pretty well. It's nice, and it actually kind of adds more of a backpack to him. Gives him a little more thickness, which is cool. And if you really don't like the way these are positioned, you can always flip these portions here around the other direction. That kind of give him a little more stability. The reason I like doing a lot of this kind of thing is, you know, this guy here doesn't have ability for his head to move, but this one here does, so that can give you a pseudo knee joint if you really wanted to try to pose him walking. That's kind of a hard pose to get some of these guys into. I've done it in the past, and it works. It does work very, very well. You just gotta really fiddle with it in order to get a knee joint out of these guys. But it's just all positioning and balance with the Scramble City. Anyhow, this has been Plasticon. This has been yet another Generation 2 review. I'll end up having a heck of a lot more coming to you guys' way. But anyhow, this is me signing off. Peace out to you guys. See you around. Bye.